What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
All right, we're back for another Free Agent Friday, and today I've got Ari Moskowitz with me. How are you, Ari?
Great, Andrew. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. Really appreciate it, and happy to be here.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining me. Let's get started with tell us about your college experience, your degree, and any internships or programs that you worked on during school.
Yeah, great question. I graduated from Syracuse University back in 2018. I graduated with a BD in sport management and strategic management. So really trying to understand the industry of sports and I'll parallel that with the overall business industry. I loved the industry back in the day when someone said to me, you can't be a fan of sports anymore. And that was huge. And I decided, this is what I want to do. And the industry of sports is where I became a fan of. So during my time at Syracuse, did a number of internships with folks like Rubicon Talent, CSM Sport and Entertainment, and so on, and worked as a salesman on campus for an apparel company, as well as game day operations for IMG at Syracuse. So I had a number of exciting opportunities that really kind of shaped my background in my early career.
So, what was it that really drove you to sports?
Yeah, so I really couldn't get into a sports stadium, if you will, without wondering why Bud Light is the official beer. I couldn't do it. While my friends would walk in and say, who's the starting lineup, my first question was, okay, so that left field signage opportunity, how much did that go for? And why is that brand want to associate with the Nationals, for example?
And you're sick. It's it's exactly what I do, and it's ruined the experiance.
Yes, ruined all baseball games, basketball games, all sporting events for me.
When I go into a place, I'm always like, I'm trying to figure out their gross revenue for that game.
Yeah.
And, all those things. It's pretty cool. So it's cool to see somebody else, especially someone younger, thinking that way. So that's cool. So
yes.
do you have like a specific area in the sports business that you would like to be in? And then what's your dream job?
Yeah, great question. So coming from the Drone Racing League, where I spent most the past 2 years here in New York City, one thing that I really enjoyed about it was the startup atmosphere. Really being able to be that 5-tool athlete, if you will, wearing several different hats, staying late, doing everything that you wouldn't normally do at a 9-to-5 job, and want to continue to do that, weirdly enough. The startup industry, whether it's in the sports tech space or drone tech, whatever it might be, was something that I really got behind, was able to help evangelize, grow, and continue to build on. Dream job, though, would definitely be to work for a consumer product, a D2C consumer product, and help them build out their sports marketing strategy, and why they should partner with a certain team, why they should, partner with an influencer or a basketball player, if you will.
Oh, it's very interesting. So tell me more about your experience with the Drone Racing League.
Yeah, great question. Really worked under so many different opportunities there and wore so many different hats, from events to marketing to operations to finance, doing a lot of different things you wouldn't normally get to do at the age of 23, 24. So I was super excited and happy to be able to do that. The Drone Racing League was something I had not heard about when I first, had my first interview, if you will. And now I'm able to talk about it night and day. My friends are very annoyed with me about how much I talk about DRL. But it's definitely great. And something that I learned within that is, it's super important to be able to help grow and talk about something the right way, evangelize it the right way. And if you can't sell DRL, you can't sell anything. So that was super great because I didn't have to start out at the NFL where it's super easy, not super easy to sell, but easy to help people understand.
Everybody knows the New York
Right.
Giants,
Right.
New
Drone
York Jets.
racing drone racing is something when you have a 30-minute intro call, 29 minutes of that call is what in the world is drone racing versus, the NFL, that only 1 minute is what is the NFL. So it taught me a lot about, being persistent and being able to help evangelize something well enough that, it helps just the person on the street understand it.
Any project specifically with the drone racing league or anything that you were working on there that you're most proud of?
Yeah, so really, really proud of our largest event ever that we had back in September at Chase Field down in Phoenix, Arizona. Was on the ground for about a month there, helping to sell tickets, talk to vendors, bring in new sponsors, talk to local community members, all of the above. So I was really like the point man on the ground there. Working on the event side, operations side, and marketing. We ended up selling out the event, which was really awesome. It was such a hit, and it was, to this date, DRL's largest event ever. So really excited about that
cool.
one, and was very happy to be a large part of that amongst the other team members that really played a big role in there.
Is that the drone racing league? Is that on TV? Because I saw something on TV before that was kind of like drone racing. So
for the first few seasons, DRL was on ESPN,
Okay.
and now DRL is on NBC, NBC Sports, and Twitter. So What we found was that our younger audience wasn't so interested in watching DRL on NBC rather than engaging with it online via Twitter. So it's very interesting in that facet, and it really gave me an opportunity to understand the digital space versus the linear space and how that all works.
So what would say is your biggest asset that you'll bring to another company?
Yeah, so definitely my hunger. I'm hungry. I'm hungry to get started. I'm hungry to believe in something, to help evangelize something. And I know I keep using the word evangelize, but it's a word that I totally believe in, because if I can get behind something and evangelize something, I can sell it. I can live, eat, breathe it. One of my bosses at DRL before said that I push myself to figure things out with an enthusiastic persistence. And I embrace new challenges with a real hunger to make things happen. So whether that's being hungry to understand a new product or hungry to understand the market that's out there right now, the word hunger really speaks to me in terms of kind of why somebody should be looking at me versus somebody else. It really comes down to just being hungrier than the next person.
I like it. You got to be. I mean, especially in the current climate where there's a lot of people out there, and the hunters are going to be the ones. So you got to be active. And that's what I appreciate about you reaching out to me when you saw what we're doing here. I mean,
gotta
taking
be
the initiative.
Yep. Taking the initiative, attentive, persistence, perseverance, all of those speak to me, and those are ways that I continue those are attributes I'll have for the rest of my life that I just gonna continue to use. And like you said, it's all about that, especially in a time like this when the candidate pool is so large with such great talent that's out there right now. It's important to kind of do what you can to be better than the next person.
What area do you think you need to work on the most?
Yeah, so I've basically found through working at DRL, I created a lot of decks, if you will, and I'm sure you know that world really well. And my attention to detail, while it's a really great thing that I have, it really sets me back a lot, because I can spend a week on a deck that should take me maybe 3 hours, but I just am so interested in the detail and orientation of it that I tend to overdo it. So that sets me back a little bit there. And it's something that I've totally been working on and want to continue to grow and learn from those kind of things that set me back.
I mean, time management is, it's important. So definitely, it takes a little while to get adjusted to that, because again, you want to put that, you want your name is on it. You want it to be like perfect. But the problem is it's hard to be perfect. So, you'll
But
drive yourself crazy at some point.
And I'm sure you've seen really bad decks. Like there are
Oh God,
terrible decks
Yeah.
out there. So, I need to find that median where
Yeah.
it's like it's like it's good
It's
and
good quality,
it makes sense. But I tend to go the latter end of the spectrum where I just need to make every color, every line, everything perfect.
Right. So when you were doing decks, was that like for the partnership side of things, and were you using any specific software or platform for that?
Yeah, so working with our incredible creative team that was over at DRL, I created Keynotes night and day. We used Keynote, which I was a little bit weary of when I first got there, but realized Keynote is just far beyond PowerPoint in a lot of different facets.
Never used it.
And it's incredible what you
So
can
it's
do
like
with
a
it.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, like PowerPoint, it's just a little more graphical and allows you to be a little more creative. My search history on Google will be, man holding beer in sports bar, all these things that you have to put into a deck.
Right.
I knew exactly where to find them and still know where to find them. And I'm really proud of the creative work that, I've been able to work on. And most importantly, what came out of that was my ability to strategize and think outside of the box. When I'm looking at a deck and building it, I'm really able to kind of get in the weeds of it and understand, why this picture represents what I'm actually trying to get across and the actual messaging. That was super important to me.
Any other areas of technology that you used in any of your positions that you feel, you have good experience in?
Yeah, so just technology as a whole, you could work in the BD world, selling whatever it is, but when you have that technology background like I do in the drone space and understanding what that really is, because nobody really understands that space, I think that sets me apart from a lot of other folks in that area. When I'm able to evangelize technology and show that I understand it well and help people understand it better, I think that's a huge, that's something that, I have that a lot of people don't have. So just technology as a whole is something that, I used in my everyday career that I want to continue to use. I flew drones. Not many people did that. Not many people understand what yaw and pitch.
Have you raced them?
I have raced them. I'm not very good. I stick to the simulator, which is on a 97% accurate simulator online. Nice. So it's much easier for me, so I don't break the drone. But not many people understand what yaw and pitch and speeds and all these buzzwords in the technology and drone space. So I think that totally sets me apart and something I use that many people did not.
How would you define success?
Good question. I think there's a lot of ways to define success. I don't think success is, how much revenue your company generated. I think success is really, if you're talking about a property or a brand, I think it's all about awareness. How much can one talk to another person about that brand, for example? Is that brand going to continue to, and I'll say it again, evangelize throughout another community? Are people talking about it, socializing about it? Success, I think, happens when there is a large group for a brand, for example, that's able to talk about it and continue to kind of see its growth. Although growth and success is really ROI at the end of the day, I think it's a lot more than that. And in my book, I think awareness at the end of the day trumps a lot of that.
All right, last thing. Give us a fun fact about you.
A fun fact. So during quarantine, I've been biking a lot. And I never used to bike that much. And in the past 2 weeks, I biked about 185 miles here in New York City.
Wow.
So my legs are about mush right now, but it's been great. Just kind of understanding the layout of the city a lot better, like I've never had before, and understanding areas like, today I went to Prospect Park, never really been out there, and was happy to kind of explore a little bit. Biking is incredibly fun if you have the right bike and you have the right mindset. And it's taken me off looking at LinkedIn all day. You can only look at jobs on LinkedIn
crazy.
so much.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at the same jobs over and over.
Exactly.
You know what? I lied. That wasn't the last one.
Okay.
In your next position, are you looking to stay? You're in New York City. You looking for something in the city there, or are you open to opportunities outside of New York City?
Yeah, so ideally would like to stay in New York, but open to opportunities elsewhere. Have looked at opportunities in San Francisco, LA, Miami, Seattle, and so on. Want to make sure I'm in a space where, if the next job doesn't work out, then it's easy to kind of pivot to another
Opportunities. Yeah.
opportunity. There's only a certain amount of cities that offer that, and I think it, I need to be strategic about it.
Yeah.
A northern Idaho position maybe isn't the best for me,
Right.
amongst other reasons. But
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm in the right city to continue to grow professionally and just grow myself as a person.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's great. I mean, I love, I can hear the passion and the drive in you. So I'm 100% sure you're going to be a great asset for somebody in the near future. So hopefully we can help get you some more exposure, but please keep in touch. But thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate it. And, I really do appreciate what you're doing for the industry right now. I know there's a lot of people like me out there, that are vying to get on, here. And I appreciate everything that you've done.